Good morning, live weather blog meteorologist Bob Acanfrio with today's tropical update for Friday, July 23rd, 2010. We are watching Tropical Storm Bonnie today. She's starting to approach the southeast Florida coast and Florida Keys this morning. Current location this is as of 8 a.m. We have 24.7 north, 79.8 west. Maximum sustained winds 40 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at 19 miles an hour. And you can see here it is. This is the current position as of 8 a.m. It's going to pass, probably cross the upper Keys here, just south of Homestead area. Then come right across clip the southwest portion of Florida, and then out into the Gulf of Mexico. And here it is, 2 a.m. position later tonight right here in the Gulf of Mexico, and then quickly move up towards the Louisiana-Mississippi coastline by the overnight hours of Saturday night, early Sunday morning. The storm's moving pretty quickly, so we already have tropical storm watches out from Morgan City, Louisiana, all the way to Destin, Florida. You're probably saying, wow, look how far they go east. Well, this storm is pretty lopsided, where most of the convection and weather is going to be on the east side of the storm. So even if landfall's all the way over towards Louisiana, most of the weather is going to be all the way across on the eastern side here. So that's why tropical storm watches go all the way over to Destin, Florida. Here's the first visible satellites of the morning, and you can see pretty unorganized system. We saw last night it really starting to take a real, didn't do anything overnight last night. It was really getting disorganized, not much outflow. When you want to see a system really start taking off, you need some kind of outflow. Really only outflow we see right now is right here, this little tail right here. This is about all you see. There is no outflow in this area. Nothing north, nothing west, nothing really south. Just a little bit of outflow right in here. Most of the convection is just to the north of the center, still having that southwest to southerly shear across it of about 10 to 20 knots. And actually, the circulation's been a little hard to define by the hurricane hunters, so we'll have to see. There are chances that this could open up into an open wave today and not even have a closed circulation yet. So, but most of the weather is going to be north of the center, so I'll show you on the radar picture here where the heaviest weather and squalliest weather is across southern Florida this morning. And here we are looking at the radar, and here's the first squalls coming in here. So it looks like the worst of the weather is going to be from Fort Lauderdale southward, and then we're going to go from about Fort Myers southward along the west coast here. So this is where the worst of the weather is going to be. You can see the center is really hard to find. This is more of a mid-level feature. Everybody thinks, oh, the center's coming into Miami. No, it's not. The actual center, which is very, even on the satellite here, I mean on the radar, you can see it's weakly defined right in this area right here. You probably see it's probably right about here. So the actual center is going to pass probably near Key Largo, and then just like this. This is going to be the actual center where it's going to move. Very hard to define it. So this is not the center here. The actual center is right about in this area here. And this is the track. So the worst of the weather here, squally weather. Might see a few wind gusts to tropical storm force, probably around 40. Maybe if we're lucky 45. I highly doubt it. Probably around that tropical storm force. Heavy rains, 1 to 3 inches, up to 5 inches possible. The good news is this is moving fast. It's going to be in and out of here. So the flooding effects will not be as great, and this is Florida. We could take the rain. Storm surge, possibly 1, maybe 2 feet of water rises here. That's really not much of a factor right now. And then once this moves east of the area, we could see some isolated tornadoes on the southeast side here later this morning and through the afternoon as the heat of the day gets mixed in here later. So that's another possibility as well. Water vapor loop still showing that big upper low here, and this will get sucked right just like this right around the high pressure here. This is moving a little faster, so it could come in a little farther east of where these forecast points go. The trend is to, since it's moving so fast, that it may come in maybe even closer to the Mississippi coast. Again, the heaviest weather is going to be on the east side of this system. Now here's some of the latest model tracks, and you can see pretty tightly clustered here. Then a little bit of a spread here. And that's why I'm thinking this could even come closer. The actual landfall could come closer to the Mississippi coast. And that's why tropical storm watches are all the way to Destin, because most of the weather is going to be on the east side of this system. Intensity, well, LGM and ships still have it near 60 miles an hour at landfall. Most of the other global models and the HWRF, GFDL hardly show this intensifying at all. So there is still that possibility as it gets to landfall that it could intensify a little bit. We may get a little weaker shear there at landfall. It's moving pretty quickly, so I think the most we're going to see out of this is possibly a 60-mile-an-hour tropical storm at landfall. There is still that little bit of possibility. I highly doubt this is going to become a hurricane at this point. I only give that a 10% chance right now. So good news for the folks along the Gulf Coast and the oil slick region. Yes, not good news that this is going over the oil slick, but it could have been worse. Still, with the winds and wave action, some of that oil is going to spread towards the coast a little more, which is still not good news. And you can see the spread. Now this is the line I'm taking. No gaps, HWRF. This right in here. This is probably where the actual center is going to be, more towards Mississippi in the end. And so anybody on the west side here, you're not going to see much weather. So if this comes east of New Orleans, Louisiana, you're not going to see much weather at all out of this. And that's good news for them. So this might actually go just a little north of the oil slick region in the end. So we might not get as much oil spreading inland. This is really, really good news if this happens, the speed of this, and if it doesn't get as strong. So, and again, most of the weather is going to be on the east side of this system here. And just a quick look at the rest of the tropics. There's nothing out in the Atlantic right now. Watching this little area here, it's being pretty much sheared from the north right now, heavy shear here. We have a little upper level system up in here. But as this moves westward during the week, we want to watch it. Conditions are, again, more favorable in the Western Caribbean. So we'll continue to watch this area and see what happens to that. That's really the only game in town the next 3 to 5 days. So there you have the latest on Bonnie. Again, weak tropical storm moving through South Florida. Main effects are going to be rainfall today, a little bit of wind. It's going to be in and out of here. Again, maybe some isolated tornadoes for South Florida and the Keys later this morning and into the afternoon. Again, I see this possibly strengthening to a 55 to 60 mile an hour tropical storm at landfall. Don't see a hurricane at this point. And the effects, again, are going to be mostly a rain and wind events, some minor coastal flooding up in this region here. Again, east of the center is where all the action is going to be. So if this, which I'm thinking is going to make landfall more towards the Mississippi coast, anywhere west of here across Louisiana, the effects are going to be very minimal. I will have another tropical update, either probably later this afternoon or this evening. Have a good day.